Hello everyone, it's Carol with Scrappadabadoo Crafts. Today we are going to work on a recipe box. I inherited my mom's recipes and her box is trashed. She had a bird that decided that everything that she had was his and he could chew it up. So I'm going to do a little recipe box so I can transfer all her handwritten recipes over and be able to save them. So I've chosen to work with the Bo Bunny family recipes. And I have it both in open stock and in a bundle. And we'll be using the collection and the ephemera and the 6x6. Wish they came out with an 8x8 because an 8x8 would work perfect to where the 6x6 is just a little too small. So, I'll go through the papers and show them to you, and then you can see what all is in there. We've got a beautiful stripe. I know, Graphic 45 is the only one that does an 8x8, and they've quit making the 6x6s, which I like the 6x6 and I like the 8x8. So anyway, we've got the stripes, and it's called Savory. And on the back is a beautiful flower. And then we got the Bon Appetit, which has got all the fun words and pictures of food. And on the back is food. And then we've got the Back to Basics. And it's got all the fun little sayings and everything on it. And there's two of each one of these, so I'm not going to show both of all of them. And then we've got the Bistro, which is red on one side. Oh, I didn't show the back of this one. So, oh, that's what it is. The Bistro. And then it's got this on the back. So that's what that is. And then this one has the dots on the back. And then Cuisine, which is a black and white. This one's kind of cool. And this would be fun to fussy cut, the little ones. And it's got the yellow on the back. Hang on, I've got to take my autofocus off. So hang on 1 second. Okay. Hopefully that'll keep it from going in and out. And then we've got the family recipes. And I love the images on this one. And then the noteworthy. And these are fun to fussy cut too. And on the back it's got the utensils. And then it's got two of the recipe cards. So it's got the front and back, which is really nice because, you know, how many times can you really fit a recipe on the front of a recipe card? I'm always having to turn it over and write on the back. So this has the front and back. We probably won't be using that because I'm going to just transfer all of my mom's over. And then we got Thyme, which has a nice wood grain on the back. And then we've got the pantry. I love this one. Isn't that cute? Wouldn't that be cute on the back of one of those? I know I've seen them made. Somebody made a little kitchen set. And I think that is it. Those are all the ones that are in there. This set does not come with a sticker sheet, which most all of Bo Bunnies have always come with a sticker sheet, but this one doesn't. And then I brought in some of the paper mache recipe boxes. And I've gone ahead and painted it. And I used the Folk Art chalk paint. And I did that so that it would dry. So I am going to use the stripes to cover it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the whole piece to fit my total area here, and then cut it down so that my stripes line up both on the lid and on the side that I'm working on. So I'm going to do all 4 sides out of this paper. And so I've measured it, and I'm going to cut it 4 1/4 at 6 3/8. Oh, I'm back. I was gone. I thought I didn't show that I had lost it. So holler at me. Say something louder next time so I can check things out. So I wasn't gone for that long. And I want my stripes to go up and down on this. So I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4 this way. By 6 3/8 this way. Hi, Josie. 6 3/8. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hope that's right. This one's hard to tell, this trimmer, as you all know. Perfect. I want to leave a little bit of an edge on the box. So I am going to measure my top, and it is 1, I'm going to go 1 1/4, 1 1/4. So how has everybody been? How's your summer been? Who did anything fun? And I'm going to go 2 3/4 on this one. And I want to make sure that I'm cutting. Oop, that isn't even my piece. So I'm just going to trim a skosh off this. And I want to trim it off of this side. So what did I say that was? Oh my gosh, June Marie, that sounds like fun. 2 3/4. You know, it's funny. I've kind of been trying to do everything I possibly can to keep myself from coming in my craft room. I have just totally lost my desire to create, which is really bad. So I have my red, Distress ink, the fire brick, and I think that's what I'm gonna edge my paper in. Oh my gosh, June Marie, that's a huge trailer. But then you inherited a lot of your mom's stuff too, didn't you? My garage is still full. I keep saying I'm going to have a garage sale because there's a lot of really nice stuff that I have. Josie, I don't know if it's a change in weather or whether it was the summer and everything. I just, after losing my mom and sister, I just didn't have a desire to come in my craft room. It was just like it was gone. Okay, June Marie, it is time to get rid of all that stuff. Time to get it gone. Okay, so that's what the front of it's going to look like. What do you think? See, I haven't gotten rid of all of my mom's stuff yet. I've still got most all of her kitchen towels. Just some of her little knickknacks. You're not even looking in the boxes, June Marie? Now that's brave. That's brave. Okay, so I always use the Pioneer glue stick. I think it works great on paper to paper. So anything that's chipboard or paper, I always use a glue stick. And I do not have a problem with things sticking or popping back up with it. Seems to work just fine. That's brave. Oh, Jose, that is really sad. Hey, Margaret. You know, that was my biggest problem was trying to get the chat up. It kept saying something about Flash Player and this and that, and I kept checking and my Flash Player was downloaded. And so what I realized is up on the top of my bar, there's a little like puzzle piece. And it allowed me to either turn off or on um, my extensions that would allow chat. Okay, so there's the other piece. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for this side. And my stripes are going up and down so I can get my other side out of this piece. So let me give it a quick measurement. And June Marie, is your forte construction rather than decorating? Okay, so 4 1/4 again. And this time we are going to go 3 1/4. 3 1/4. Oh, I've been doing everything I possibly can to stay out of my craft room. Everything. I mean, I got to the point where I'd much rather wash and fold white clothes. And that's sad, because white clothes are the worst. See, and I would much rather decorate. The construction and things, I'm not good at. I mean, you will not see me make something out of my brain because it would probably look like a wadded up ball. Me and measurements, we don't get along, so I can't figure out. So I said 3 1/4, didn't I? Yeah, I know. Isn't that sad? I mean, who really wants to fold white clothes, right? But then we did, quite a bit. Before my mom passed away, she was going to move in with us. And so we were busy getting the house ready for her to come, which one thing was to tear out our bathtub and put in a walk-in shower. And so we hired someone to come in and do that. And then we were moving all of our stuff from the master bedroom into the spare bedroom. And that was the room we were going to be in. And then I was going to put Mom in the master bedroom so that she would have a bathroom right there. And so we had 1 1/4. We had moved everything out and got all our stuff set up in the spare bedroom and had just finished cleaning out the room and doing all the carpets. Well, then we had to clean out a bunch of stuff in the living room so that we could fit her chairs and her bird. And I mean, so basically the whole house was torn apart. And then 2 days before she was going to move over, we took her in to the hospital because she wasn't feeling good. And she never came home. She passed away in the hospital during the night. And so that left us with our house all torn apart. And also needing to go over and get her house cleaned out and ready to put on the market. So I'm just going to cut a skosh off that. And so my house had to take a back seat till I got her house done and most all of her stuff. So I'm just going to cut a skosh off this one. And so, our stuff got put to get back. And so when we moved back into the master bedroom, I said I wasn't going to put that back bedroom back together until we tore the carpet out and put wood flooring in. So then I couldn't put everything back in until we got that done. And then I needed a closet organizer. And so we've been, kind of working on all that to get everything put back together. So it's been quite crazy. We just pretty much got all her stuff finished up and taken care of, and helping my niece on top of that try and do the same thing with her mom's stuff, because she passed away 3 weeks before my mom did. So it's been a crazy summer. Crazy, crazy. Yeah, Martha, you know, people can say, I feel sorry for you. You know, I'm sorry for your loss, but, until you face the grief, I know Margaret Helderson and I have talked about it quite often because she lost her son at a young age. And, um, you just don't realize the depth of the grief and how hard the loss really is. So, anyway, we still have sunshine here. It decided to make a comeback. The rain only stayed for a couple of days. And so the sunshine is back. So we are getting a little bit of an Indian summer, which was nice because we had the family over Sunday for dinner, and we were all still able to sit out in the backyard and enjoy the sunshine. Yeah, June Marie, I think some of us just need a 12-step program, right? 12 steps. 12 steps to overcoming grief, right? I think it'd take more. And I really have to hand it to my mom because, she always swore, oh, I love those stripes. That is turning out really cute. And it's all lining up really nice. But she swore with everything in her being that she would never, ever, ever live with any of her children. And so when she called to tell me, she decided that, she really didn't think she could live alone anymore, and let's make the changes in my house so that she could move over. She was ready. I just about fell on the floor because I told her there's no way I'd ever put her in a nursing home. And so anyway, doggone if she didn't get her way. She never did move in with any of her kids. That was my mom. Okay, so this one's going to be the same, 4 1/4 by 6 3/8. So I'm going to cut my 4 1/4 first. We we did take off a couple weeks ago and went over to the peninsula and spent 4 days in the most adorable cabin I have ever seen. I mean, this thing was just it was just adorable. I mean, everything about it was just adorable. And it was just before you got into Sequim, which is right on I would say the bay, because, the ocean is a little further out. And, gosh, we had such a nice time and got to see places in this state that we've never seen. 6 3/8. 1, 2, 3. And, gosh, we just had... No. Oh, yeah, I am. I'm cutting the right way. No, I'm not. Thanks, June Marie. I'm a little late, but I can still get it out of this one. Ah! They are. You didn't warn me soon enough. Okay, so I want 6 3/8 this way. Thank you, June Marie. I'd have noticed it right then. By 4 1/4. Oh, and there goes my phone. I don't answer it because I know that it can't possibly be anything urgent. But I mean, we just had the best time. Um, the owners of the cottage, their house was right there by it, but the way that it was set up, you really, from anywhere that you look, you couldn't see their place. And when we got there Friday, they left and we didn't see them again the whole weekend. So we had the whole property pretty much to ourselves. And they had a little 1-person hot tub. So 1.25 off of this way. And gosh, we just relaxed and just truly enjoyed ourselves. Through, all of this with my mom and everything, my husband's work was so busy that he was working 12-hour days, 7 days a week for 3 weeks, and then they took 3 weeks off and started having Sundays off. I think I am going to cut these down just a skosh to give it a little bit more of a border. So each box is going to be different. So when you do yours, you're going to need to measure the sides of your boxes. We really did. I mean, Dan was to the point of exhaustion. I mean, he has just, he's a woodworker, so he's constantly on his feet and, lifting things and using his hands and 12-hour days is a long day. And then, he was trying to come over and help as much as he can and get the stuff done at our house. And, I just felt really bad for him. So this break was definitely nice. They have a game farm down there where they take in animals that are no longer able to be safely kept in zoos, or animals that have been on shows and they've retired, and just, like llamas and buffaloes and bears, and they've got a lot of wild deer and elk, and they've got some exotic tigers and lions and coyotes and all this kind of stuff. And most of the animals, except for the exotic ones, they just roam free. So you drive through it in your car, and you can either buy bread there or you can bring it with you. And we took loaves of bread with us, and these animals, I'm kidding, you drive through with your windows down and you're trying to tear pieces of bread off, and they're just reaching in and taking the whole slice of bread right out of your hand right through your car window. And if you're trying to look over, I was looking over and watching Dan feeding an animal, all of a sudden I look over and I've got this big, I think it was a llama or something, with his head just right there in my face in the window. It scared the daylights out of me. And they tell you not to stop when you get to the bison and that, because they will truly ram your car. They suggest you just throw your pieces of bread out the window. I've never laughed so hard in my life. I cracked up the whole time. Oh my gosh. It is funny. Oh, and they had the baby deers, and they had some albino ones. My God, I laughed so hard. And when we got done, if we hadn't had to leave to catch the ferry, I'd have had Dan go back into town to pick up more bread so we could drive through it again. It was so much fun. I mean, so I'm gonna have to do an animal or an album with those pictures in it. I mean, we just enjoyed it so much. We got to go out and see the ocean from that side and watch the waves and walk on the beach. And it's really funny too, because I love collecting shells. I just absolutely love it. And we had made a trip to Florida several years ago. And when we were walking on the beach, I told Dan, I said, oh my gosh, you cannot find a rock on this beach. I mean, we went to like 7 different beaches over toward Fort Myer, and I couldn't find a rock. They were everything. Everything was just shells, and there were places on some of these beaches where it looked like a dump truck just backed up and dumped loads of shells on the beaches. And so we get down there, and I'm looking on the beach to try and find a shell, and I can't find a single shell out there. It's all just rocks. So what's up with that? Is it the climate? Is it the colder water? I don't understand, but we did eventually find a couple of clam shells, but they weren't like the pretty shells you see. Nope. Okay, so that's our back. We're getting there. I'm going to have to cut into a second piece of paper. I thought I'd get it all out of one, but oh, maybe I can. Oh, I can. Yay! I didn't mess up too bad. June Marie let me cut it wrong. Way to go, June Marie. I just love this paper. This line is so cute, and with everybody doing recipes. And I'm even thinking I'm going to have a piece that I screwed up for the top. Hey, June Marie's, look, that piece you let me cut wrong, it's going to fit the top. Ha ha ha. Good job. See, we were just cutting ahead of ourselves. Okay. So I wondered what that was, and that's the little, comes with a little string on the side so you can't open it and it doesn't flop too much. Okay, so I forget what this one was. It is. It's very bright and cheery. So 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. You know, I really thank you guys for joining me today. I've been out of it, and I'm glad to be back. So, and I think I'm going to try and do something every week. How would that be for the winter? Because we got cards to make and perfect. So, and then on another note, 1 1/4. My Miss Margaret Halderson is leaving me. Her and her husband are moving to the other side of the mountains. They have both now retired and bought a place over there. And so I went and had lunch with her yesterday, and it's going to be the last one before she goes. I didn't tell her this, but I cried all the way home. It was so sad for me. But, I mean, they've got a beautiful place over there, and then they've got a place over there that they keep their trailer and boat and go out fishing in the summer. And so we'll just have to take some time in the summer and go over and do some fishing with them. And she assures me that she will come over when there isn't snow in the passes and pick up her orders. Hi, Carrie. I've missed you guys too. We're just doing something simple today. We're covering a paper mache recipe box so that I can put my mother's recipes in here. I know, but I can't just call and say, hey, let's go to Monroe. Let's have lunch. I want to have teriyaki. She's abandoning me. Okay, I think I need to take a skosh more off the bottom. Okay, so every week, try to come up with something interesting. If not, I'll just sit here and act funny and entertain you guys. I have to come up with an outfit. My sister-in-law is turning 60 on the 28th of October. And so her and her sisters have decided that they're going to have a Halloween party. Unknown to her that this is actually going to be a surprise birthday party for her. And the theme is The Wizard of Oz. So I'm trying to think what I can be with the Wizard of Oz. And I was thinking I might go as Annie M. You know, get the old white wig and the old dowdy clothes with the apron, and that'd be something simple. And it didn't, what was the uncle's name? What was her uncle's name? We're going to have to watch it again. Because I think I'll have Dan go as the uncle. We'll be Auntie M, and I'm going to try and find stuff. When I talk to Annika, my granddaughter, she wants to be the pretty witch. You know, I'd love to do some ATC cards. I would really, those, I mean, those are really something I can get behind because, you know, well, I put a lot into mine, but it seems like they go fast and I can get one completed in a day. There's so many beautiful papers out that have just come into the store. Oh my gosh. The Prima Amber Moon just came in. I almost ditched the recipe box today and said, let's do something with that. You guys want me to show it to you after I get done here? I can go grab some of it and show it to you. Henry. Henry? Does that sound right? Okay, somebody Google it for me while I'm on here. I've got to know. Okay, so all my sides are covered. I'm not sure what I'm going to do at the bottom. I think maybe I'm just going to paint it. Because who really sees the bottom anyway, right? So I might just paint it. But, you know what? I've got another piece of paper here. Okay, let's go ahead and cover it. And that actually took only one 12 by 12 piece of paper to cover the whole box. Oh no, that's my top. I can't use that for the bottom. That's my top. What was I thinking? Heck. Uncle Henry. Thank you, Jean Marie. I'll have to go on and find pictures of him. So this one I'm going to go 6 3/8 by 3 1/4. You know, I'm not behind on anything because I haven't done anything. I do need to get my next set of recipes out the door. But I have them all copied. I just need to find something fun to make to go with them. And 3 1/4. Another fun thing that happened is well, it's not fun because I miss her, but we've had a lady that has lived next door to us ever since that we've lived here. She bought her house at the same time we did 30 years ago. And she was quite a bit older than us then. Well, her sister moved her down closer to her because she had dementia. And so her sister moved her down. Well, the other neighbors across the street from us, they decided that they were going to go ahead and buy the house and fix it up and use it as a rental. Well, when Wanda lived there, she had a friend that had a tree farm, and he must have brought her, oh, I would say 20 little starts of trees, and she planted every single one of them. Every one. And they all grew. And some of them have been leaning over toward our house. They are on the edge of the property line to where all of the stuff falls over. And it just makes a mess in our yard. In fact, about 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer than that, we literally redid our front yard and had to put a French drain in because the trees on the property line were holding the water up and rotting our grass out. So we had nothing but slime in our front yard where it was supposed to be grass. And I mean, she probably had 10 big trees in her front yard that just made a mess in ours. And so when Joe and Luis bought the house next door, they decided that all of those trees in front were going and 4 of the ones in back were going. So this week they had someone come in and cut them down, and I'm not kidding. The difference is just amazing. Okay, got a little bit of goo from my glue stick on there, but you know, one of these fancy glue erasers just takes it right off. That's another thing that I like about the glue. Okay, so we're all covered. I know. My yard was so awful. Well, you know, it didn't do any good because here we are, you know, 5, 6 years later after putting all this money into our yard. I mean, the trees have just destroyed our yard again. There was just nothing we could do because, you know, all of their needles and everything would blow over and kill our grass. And we were bringing in, they'd have these little husks that were like full of pitch that would blow over. I have a touch screen now too, check. And so that's all gone. They cut them down. I'll post pictures on my Facebook page. Okay, so what do you guys think? I like the way that's Yes, I do notice more light. And the nice thing about it is that next year when we plant our garden will get more sunlight in the morning, um, as well in the afternoon. We have trees out back, from right behind us that kind of block it in the from in the summertime from about 11 o'clock until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we get the afternoon sun again. But yeah, there's more light. There's going to be less mess. I mean, Dan, poor Dan, he was having to climb up on the roof about once a week in the fall and winter and clean out our gutters from all the stuff. Oh no, am I frozen? Hey, Ashley! Cutting a hole in your door. How'd that work for you? If it worked for you, I might have to have you come and put one in or on ours. Okay, so my next thought was, and I think I'm going to go for the big one, is to dress up the front. Now, one of the things that I do want to do, and I might do it after I get this on, is I wanted to cut off, and I'm not sure which line, and use it as just a middle around this on the front part. What do you think of that? Hi, artist, poet girl. Wow, so many beautiful faces here. So, we've got a few of them to choose from. We can do the canisters. We can do the chef's hats. And I'll hold it up here. You know, that's a lot of people are having a problem with that. I can do the bread and that. I can do the oven mitts. I can do this one. I'm not a big fan of the roosters because I just really don't have anything roostery. So let me cut these into stripes because it's not really going to matter. I'm leaning I love these little canisters. Hi, Galena. Okay, so here's the canisters. I'm not sure I even like this idea. Oh, you know what? That looks kind of good though, doesn't it? If I could find a place to cut it that... So there's the canisters. So if I cut the green and cut it off in blue, sorry to hear about that, Galena. Okay, so there's the canisters. And the other one is the other busy one down here. I have to remember to move my mouse every now and then because it... Or that one. Those are my two picks. So, this. Or that. Okay, we're going to vote. Type in either this or type in that. We must have a pretty good lag here. So we're going with the canisters. So I've got one this. Like what, Annie? Give me some ideas. I mean, we could look and see if we couldn't find one of their icon things. But see, they don't give you any of those in the little pack. So I'd cut it off from there to there. Should I get some red paper maybe and back it on red paper before I put it on there? Fussy cut some of the other papers. Okay, let's look and see. I mean, we can always go back to that. The dress is too big. Most of the things on here are pretty big. I like this. If you guys read that one. My cooking is so fabulous that the smoke alarm cheers me on. You know, it could go time to savor life's moment. I could cut that out and put it on chipboard and pop it up there. Okay. I think everybody said they like the canisters. Okay, so we're gonna go with the canisters. The big... Okay, hold on. The big red jar. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna cut that out. Let's because actually I could. I'm gonna fussy cut it out. I know, me too. You know, I love to bake. Absolutely love to bake. When it comes to cooking meals and dinners and things like that, I just I do not like to cook. Let's see how we like this. One of my favorite things to do too is fussy cut. You know, I think I like this too. I wish that it included a sticker sheet with this one, because I bet they would have had something like this on a sticker sheet. Wonder why they didn't put one in here. Not a lot of people like the stickers or use them. And and then I could find something and homemade. Label this so that everybody knows that it's Mom's recipe. I'm not going to cut the ribbons out. Just as a decoration. To dress it up. I mean, I could cut out a couple of the canisters just as canisters and line them up there. I think that's what I like about the ATC cards so much, is that you could really do some intricate fussy cutting with those. Okay, that's kind of cute. And then let's see, we could find some words or something. I'm sure that we could. Fit on there. Oh, I wonder if there's anything with words in this one. No, they didn't put them in this one either. Oh, I wonder if this on the front. It's too big with the canisters. Dang. Gotta come up with something. Because I do like that canister on there. Do you guys like that canister? Better than the... But you know what? Let's try this. Hang on. I'm going back to this face sheet. And then what if we were to fussy cut a couple of the mittens? See, you can totally see I'm doing this on the fly. So if we don't like that, we have the rolling pin. That we could put up there. We're just going to try a whole bunch of things. Coffee Dine Coffee. And I do love this rolling pin because when I was going through my mom's stuff, she has had the same rolling pin since I think my oldest brother was born. It's an old, heavy, thick rolling pin. She never got rid of it. She never got a new one. And it's missing one of the handles on the end. And as many times as we wanted to replace that, she would not let us replace her rolling pin. I've had that since Tommy was born. I am not getting a new one. I can make it work. And she did. So she had a one-armed rolling pin. And I have it sitting in my kitchen because I laugh when I see it. It makes me laugh. I can remember one time too. One of my brothers loves divinity, and that stuff just takes a long time to make. You have to beat it and beat it and beat it, but you gotta, bring the stuff to a boil and all that. Well, the last few years, Mom really hasn't been up to cooking, so I'd go over and we'd get all her recipes out and get all the stuff that we needed, and then I'd stand at the counter and do all the mixing, and she would chop walnuts or whatever for the stuff while she was sitting down. And we were making, I believe it was divinity. I'm almost 100% sure it was. And we were, oh, that's not gonna work because I wanted to put a handle on here, but maybe I won't. Okay, you guys, I'm losing everything. I'm making it too big of a mess. But so I had gotten out the stuff, and I was, putting the sugar and stuff on the stove to boil it, and I'd happened to grab this old plastic spoon that she had, and we're chatting and talking, and I'm just stirring away, and so I pick up the spoon to see where we're at, and the whole spoon part of the spoon has melted into the sugar mixture in the pot. And there was no spoon left. So needless to say, we had to start all over. But it was so hot it melted all that plastic into it. Okay, so where's my handle? There it is. I wonder, I have a doily. I have a And actually, I have one that's already cut. What do we think of that? Do you love it? Just gotta keep going till you find what works. You know, I don't like the shape of their glove. I'm going to reshape it because the finger really needs to go down further. Try and get this part of it done today, and then next week we'll come back and make the inserts. I'm going to use the tab punch board to make the inserts and make the dividers. So, what do you think? How's that for the front of it? Anita, you like that better? I'm sorry, but I've got to get rid of this white in the inside of this. It's driving me nuts. It's what I like about these scissors, that you don't have to put your fingers in. my fingers don't get all cramped when I'm doing my fussy cutting. Yeah, the doily looked a little empty. Should I kind of tint the doily with some ink or something? Kind of take the stark white out of it. I don't want to do red because we've already got so much red. What if I were to kind of do a I just don't like the stark white. What do you guys think? Wonder if I have a. I don't want to do it yellow. Maybe just a light brown. Okay, we're going to ink it. I say, after you guys order, I have all of your order forms left because I go back through and I mark them that they're completed in the store and everything. Well, you know, I hate to waste them. And so I bring them in here to my craft room and I use them to glue things. And that. So I think it tears when you just cut a doily on its own without putting something behind it. And it's not quite straight. Ooh, that didn't work either. Okay. I'm going to eyeball it. That may not work out so good either, but that's what we're going to do. An antique white. I don't know. I don't know if I've got an antique white. How about linen? I think I've got antique linen. I have antique linen. Let's see how that looks. Can you see any difference? It's almost on the greeny tone that we've got in there. And it should make the What do you think? It's not quite white, but it's... Oop. I like that. Kind of makes it stand out a little bit. Then I think I'll just add a little bit of brown to just the edges. How's that? Okay, I think that's the front. We're that far behind. Is it always like this on other shows too? Have you guys watched shows that they do on Facebook Live? Is there a delay on those shows? I haven't ever watched one, so I don't know. Hi, Judy Patootie. Three to 4 minutes. Oh, no, I have to use this one somewhere. I don't know where, somewhere. This one says, just like Mom used to make. I don't know where I'm going to use it, but I've got to use it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these attached. I think we've decided that that looks cute. And then once we get this attached, then we'll go ahead and call it quits for today and start decorating the other sides and stuff next week. How's that? I didn't realize how much I hadn't talked. My throat's starting to get a little sore. My mom was a good cook. She made the best beef stroganoff. And as many times as I stood there and watched her, and in the years that I sat and helped her, I still can't make it at my house the way she made it at hers. Just can't do it. Doesn't turn out the same. I don't want anything to really stick up on this, to pop it up or anything, because I find in my experience things like that in the kitchen just don't last very long when they're popped up and dimensional. Hi, Mac. Thanks for joining us. Oh, huh. I probably should have done that before I put it on there, in case I didn't like it. Okay. Okay, but you gotta have some bling. Just a little bit, right? So we're gonna bling up the edge of the June Marie, my dad made the best, the absolute best. He, at one point in his life, was a baker. And, you know, he made the decorative wedding cakes and all that kind of stuff. And every now and then when we were growing up, would wake up on a Saturday morning to the smell of homemade maple bars cooking in the kitchen. Ugh. Still to this day, love the smell of maple bars. You like that bling? It's just enough. Kind of makes the black pop. Okay, so now we're going to add the handle. I'm just going to eyeball the middle because I don't. That looks sure. We can have bling on our oven mitt if we want to, right? I have rearranged my tools, so I don't know what I have done with my pokey tools. Okay, so does that look about middle to you guys? And I have these little handles in the store. They're under embellishments and in fab scraps. They're great to add to everything. This kitchen is for dancing. That's too funny. I have a friend that says the only reason that she has a stove is so that she can store things in it that she doesn't use. She said it never been turned on since she purchased her house. Isn't that funny? Oh my gosh, Josie, you've got to be kidding. Congratulations on the baby. Is this your baby or grandbaby? Okay, ladies, there it is. So do you guys want to see the new Prima papers before I log off? I will go and get them. Got several new papers in the store. Now our family papers just came in yesterday, so I've listed those. Okay, so hang on a second and I will go grab a few of the new Prima products. If you guys need to grab something to drink or take a potty break, there you go. Hang on. Be right back. Okay. I'm back. Okay, you ready? So let's go through the flowers, and I didn't bring them all, I don't think. I grabbed just a smattering. These are the leaves. It's all a fall color. All the gorgeous oranges and browns and peach. Some of them have sparkles. And they're pretty. And these have pearls. And this is the stamp set that goes with it. You know me, I like it. It's got a coffee mug. And it's got the warm socks and the pumpkin pie. And then it's got the ephemera. Shall I open it and see what's in here? We got a few minutes to burn. This is my set. Oh, they're double bagged. I don't want to open it up, but we've got the coffee mugs, some thankfuls, and then these are cardstocks, a postcard, and pumpkins, and an order form. So, yeah, these are sweet. And then you've got your washi tape. How's Sandra doing? Did she have surgery? Yes, open from the top, not the bottom. Okay, so I've got them pretty well stuffed in here, but that's the washi tape. And then the crystals. And then they came out with something new with it, and they're called rubber shapes. And they're literally made of rubber. They're kind of cool. Bye, Mac. Congratulations. Okay, so let's go through the papers. Oh, I'm gonna put my camera closer. I like the tape too. I like the flowers. I like everything about this. Okay, so let's flip through these. So that's one. Then it's got the stripe on the back, so you can see the front and back. And I have all these available in the store at scrapadabadoo.com. Then you've got all the so it looks like there's 4 of each sheet. This one's full of postcards. And the back of this one is orange dots. They almost look like pumpkins. Oh, and these are the cards. Be thankful, blessed, it's pumpkin season, gourds, give thanks, hello autumn, then the pumpkin. Ooh, And the back of this one is a wood grain. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, I think this one's my favorite so far. Back of this one is like a watermark. And then this one's got your strips of all the different papers that are in there. Roses and dots. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, hang on a second. I've got a neighbor at my door. I'll be right back. You're welcome. Bye-bye. And then this one's got all the cards on it too, with different sayings and vegetables and an order blank and ooh, and then that's the back. So that's it. And we have this in the A4, and we've got it in the 8x8. We've got all the pieces of it. So you can get that all at scrapadabadoo.com. No, that was my dog. Hi, Linda. I didn't see you here. Yes, that's we we inherited Garcia, my granddaughter's dog, um, between Christmas and New Year's. They'd gotten some large dogs, and she was stressing losing her hair, so we offered for her to come to an extended stay at Grammy's house. And she does not like anybody coming to the door. So anyway, that's your preview of this one. All the bits and pieces and decorative tape. And so I did record this. I will take it up and put it on the channel. I thank you guys for joining me. Like I say, it's been really hard for me to get back on the horse and ride again. It's been a rough few months, but I think we're over the hump and on to better things. So I hope you will join me again next week. I am on at 1:00 p.m. Pacific time. And I really, really thank you all for joining me. You take care, and I will see you again next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.